But we'll do it at the DNC and we'll do it at the GOP office over there or at the Capitol so that nobody will think there was favoritism, right? That nobody will look at us.
False
And
flag.
they are absolutely, we found the truth. So this whole thing that Trump started an insurrection and is responsible for an insurrection and all the nasty that occurred that day, it was all that we can all shake a stick at. That's right.
And all of them had egg timers from like Amazon as the detonating like clock.
Yeah, so you'd think it'd be real easy to know where they were purchased and who they got sent to.
Yeah. And like the first one at the Capitol, it was supposed to go off supposedly at 1 o'clock when the certification was supposed to start, and they found it 20 minutes before.
Yeah, what a joke. Listen, I love those who have stayed on this investigation and finally figured out who the pipe bomber was. What was his name? Steve Baker?
Yeah, and then there was another one.
Yeah. Oh.
And they're all
Hey, good morning, everybody. Come on in. Connie Q is here. Good morning. Good morning. It looks like Des made it in too. She had a problem finding her time clock. That's okay. See, we can't rely on Des to show up and start the party, but that's okay, Des. You just come on in. Tanya, tell me something good. What's going on with you, girl?
I just wanted to comment.
Well, hey now, good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's Saturday. I made it. I'm late. Yes, I know. Some of us work very hard, even when we're not working. Still got the flu bomb going on. Loving it. It's my new morning regimen. So let's jump in over here with the clapper and see what the girls are up to.
Appreciate you, Tanya, because you know what? It's like I said, coming on here when Julian said, why should we have coffee with you? I said, I'm not telling you to, but we're over here. We're people who not only do we have our eyes open, we have our hearts open, and we're looking for a better way over here in this country. And if you're not a person that is looking and paying attention to things that are going on out there in our country at such a level, I mean, the level is to destroy us. So if you're not a person that cares about that, then move away and let the rest of us step up. And I want you to be that person too, Tanya. And I know that you are. You're out there making an impact. Kimmy is. She's making an impact. And, you know, we got our Des. She's out there screaming and yelling when she can. And Laura, I know. This is what I love about you people. That's what I love about you.
Yeah, Eric just gave an air heart to all y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Betty. Betty's in the house. Good morning. There she is. Listen, these are the diehard patriots, the way I feel like. And Christine's here too. Good morning. Kind of cute.
Well, what I really liked though about what they were saying though, what Tony Robbins was saying was, what's really wonderful about it's the seasons, and I love that he was talking about the seasons of everything, because everything is a cycle. And especially when you're in tune with God and nature, you realize that that's the way it is. And I always say it's darkest before the dawn, right? Well, Kimmy knows. She's
Yes.
in the middle of that right now. It's definitely darkest before the dawn. So when things get really dark and scary and like, I all of a sudden go, oh, thank God. Because
Yeah.
that means
Thank
the light's
God.
around the corner. The light is around the corner.
And that's
So,
exactly the way you have to look at things. You cannot
mhm.
crumble, you cannot crash and burn, because your light, your energy is going to be received by someone else, and you don't know the impact that your light and your energy is putting on someone. So if you're putting this big dark heavy, oh my God, all is lost, we're going to die tomorrow, you can really affect people that way. So
Oh
I
yeah.
choose not to do that, because I know, like you just said, with the seasons change. Thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God. The sun is coming up, Laura.
What is it?
You got that right.
Ecclesiastes. I don't know the number, but you guys probably do. Let's the bird song to everything. Turn, turn, turn. There is a
To
season.
everything turn, turn. Come on, we can play that. Listen, those people knew then when they were writing the song, because once you get to that place in your life where right now isn't what you have to act upon, right now you've got to process. You've got to ingest, digest, marinate, and you can't crash and burn. You got to take it all in and then make some wise decisions. And you know what? I feel like I didn't see the whole interview with Tony Robbins. I've seen so much Tony Robbins, I could say him in my sleep, But I know he is all about positivity, uplifting, bringing out the best in people. And you know what? I just feel like this is that time in our life, especially right now going forward to November. If we're not out there shaking up things and really putting out the vibe of it's up to us. I keep asking people that, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you
Well,
doing?
what do you want to see? And that's the thing, that getting people to get outside of them, get inside of themselves and actually realize what it is they want. And that was part of the conversation I had with my husband this morning. He said, "Well, I don't really know for sure." I said,
Oh,
"Yeah, I
good.
know. I kind of when I get in that
You saved me
place,
from typing.
that's where I ask God, show me the way, give me some guidance. That's what I need. I
Boom.
need to know. I mean, I'm in a weird place right now with everything with my businesses and everything. Like I'm trying to figure out what the way forward is for myself. What's working, and I'm like, just show me more, show me more. I kind of backed off on the social media stuff. I'm not sure which direction I'm going in right now.
You're
Boom.
going in the exact direction, Tanya, that you are meant to go in. And sometimes getting away from the social media, because I mean, this is the extent really of what I do social media. I post a little on Facebook just to stay out there, but where it's happening is out where you go, out where you see people, wear your shirt, wear your messages, put your fanfare on and get out there. Listen, I had my Make America Great sweatshirt on yesterday. I had a busy day yesterday, stopped at a number of places that I had, and I just walked in there bold as you please, knowing that I might get I didn't get it anywhere yesterday.
Good.
Anywhere. I mean, I had several. Love that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
Everybody's coming around. Everybody's coming around.
I see so many trucks and cars around here in Blue State, Connecticut that have.
They got their swag on.
Mm-hmm.
All of it, yeah, it's everywhere. It
My
really
sister,
is.
it was partly, I was doing a lot of work and stuff, shoveling. So kind of I got a little crank in the thing over there. And my sister had me on the phone this morning. And she was like, how many Trump shirts you got? I'm burying you in a Trump shirt. First, I'm getting cremated. Okay, anyway. I said, you can burn me with them. I don't care. I said, no, wait, don't burn my Trump shirts. I said, make a quilt.
Yeah. Hey, Des, that's a super idea. I'll tell you, my husband ran the Peachtree Road Race for 27 years. Got the shirt. And that's what I did. With all those shirts, I had a beautiful quilt made for him. I didn't make it. But it's a beautiful way to go. And just drape it all over the couch, or you know what, put it in a frame out your front yard. Hey, just left Otis live. He saw a Fetterman Biden sticker. It said it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I love that joke. That's so good.
Hey, Slinger, good morning, MAGA is alive. Make Argentina great again. Y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling
Yo,
you.
honestly, is he a single dude? Does he have a wife somewhere? Because I seen a picture of him kissing somebody and I was like, whoa, I hope he's single.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I just care about
He
what's
can kiss
going on
whoever he wants.
now.
As long as he's not married, right? And that's not his wife. Or if it's his wife,
That's
okay.
right.
Well, I don't know. Let me shut up now.
Maybe his wife is okay with it. That's all.
Exactly. That's why I said, let me shut up now. I don't know what the hell's going on
But
here.
aren't Argentinians? They're really like that. Ah, they love you. They kiss you. They hug you. They kiss you. They hug you. I mean, they're very
Italian.
loving.
No, shut the hell up, Cuomo, Nomo, Jomo, FOMO.
Well, there you go. See, they're very hands-on and loving.
I don't know about you, but I don't kiss my Italian relatives like that. Kimmy, you?
We do.
Yo, you freak. I know, but we know, Tanya, you got your freak flag. You fly it proud. We love you for it, girl.
Give each other a little pat on the ass, though. Like, that's a thing.
I'll kiss all your Italian relatives like that.
Laura's with me. Laura.
The only person I really like kissed on the lips like a peck was like my grandpa. But like everybody else, it's a kiss on the cheek.
Listen, I got to tell y'all this. I'm gonna just say it real quick. I hope my husband, my husband has a friend, and every time he comes around, everybody's in Georgia. We hug. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah.
And every single time, he wants to just plant one right on my lips. I finally told my husband, I said, you need to say some shit to him, or else I'm gonna smack him. And I don't want to do it in front of you and embarrass you. Like, what the hell just happened? I mean, because I don't go in like that. I go in with, hey, how you doing? And he wants to just turn and just bam. Like, dude,
You turn your cheek, and then or you turn your cheek and you point, and that's it.
Well,
and you can do it. You could.
I've even got where I just want to walk in and shake his hand now. I don't even want to come in close because it's like, dude,
Did you not see Biden's latest interaction with the young lady who turned and went, yo, yes, okay, I'm addressing you. Slow your roll.
I'm not sure which one that was.
There was
like
a young girl.
If it was yesterday.
And he came up like kind of on the beside sniff zone. Biden sniff zone. What? It's a thing now, Tanya. It's a thing. Don't make faces.
I know it is. It's creepy.
He came up in the Biden sniff zone, and homegirl was like, yeah, what are you trying to say? But she didn't do it like that, but her body language said, no, you could, square up with me and get back.
Y'all, we know he's a freak. I don't know. He's not Italian, right? He's not Italian. He's a schmuck. He comes from the schmuck.
No, he's Irish Catholic. Go in on them now.
Yeah, Biden's Irish Catholic.
Hey, so Des, I realize you jumped in a little bit late.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was tardy to the party.
No, you were tardy to the party, girl. And by the time you got here, we had talked about a number of things already. We had talked about how they're trying to put Navarro in jail now. Did you see the DOJ, Merrick Garland, trying to put Navarro in jail? That's what they're going after.
I didn't see the Navarro thing. That's news because I was busy yesterday.
Check it out. It's to me, it's an absolute mind blower that would even be happening, especially when the Biden boy is running around free.
They already pulled him out in freaking shackles for crying out loud. He went through that mess. Now you're gonna try and ring him through the mess?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's exactly what's going on. And then
I'll have to read up on that one.
Then the next thing we were talking about was Dan Bongino's, the report about the pipe bomber being discovered. We now know who the pipe bomber is.
Well, I seen the Darren Beatty Tucker thing. I shared that about the pup. That's what I was about to type, and I was like, "Thank you for saving me from typing because it was too long."
We now know the name of the pipe bomber, the delivery boy, Steve Baker.
Unbelievable.
He is a member of the Capitol Police Department.
He's the one that sent the text.
I don't know what text you're referring to.
Because in that podcast with Tucker, they were like, everybody walked by this. They were kids walking by it. Nobody was even alarmed. And then when they got the all clear, you see somebody get the text, and they left it.
Well, the funny part was...
What?
Go ahead, Kimmy.
The one in the DNC, one in front of the DNC, it was by a park bench with a used coffee cup by it, and somebody literally was sitting by it. Literally. And when people were like, like the surveillance cameras of all like the city, right?
No, Yeah.
it zoomed in where exactly the bomb was, and before anybody knew where the bomb was.
Okay, so here's my take, because we know nobody was worried.
No, that's the whole deal. Everybody around was
Nobody
like
worried.
copacetic.
So here's my guess. Is that, because at the end they had to make a big spectacle and get the visual of the bomb robot going in there and trying to dismantle it and break it down. And my guess is it was just a show. My guess is the bombs weren't really explosive at all. That's my guess. I'm just a stupid little girl out here. I realize.
Yeah, it was total hype. That's why there was no alarmism. Total hype.
Total complete hype. That's right.
Yep. Yep.
Who got to see the bomb? Who got to see the bomb itself? The same guys that put it out there and covered it up.
Yeah, the ones that reported it. Oh, the bomb could have killed Camel Toe. Oh no. Like the same morons who were going to kidnap Whitmere.
Yeah, a prop bomb. It was a prop bomb, Laura. Kind of like the prop gun that Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, they called their Hollywood friends.
Killed the girl.
You know,
And
Tyler
now
Perry,
he's
Oprah,
getting
whoever got
right.
Studio Connects. They said, give me a bomb.
Yeah.
I need a prop.
That's right. Yeah, send it over. Send it. The same girl that was on Alec Baldwin's, scene when he shot the gun. But you know what? I just have two words. Bye, Alec. I think I said that to you before. Bye. Bye. I want that guy gone, too.
Oh, he's going. Finally, he's back in the news. Yeesh. Is he going to come out looking like Kathy Griffin? Is that her name, Kathy Griffin? Yeah.
Anytime, again, I walk in and I see MSNBC on my dad's TV screen, I'm like, it's a TV show. Like, this is a show. This is not real. Like, this is not the news.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you could just encourage your dad for one day to change the channel, he would probably be sitting there going, what?
Right?
What? Right?
Nah, he's too stubborn. He would stick to, he would think what I show him was fake.
Put it on Newsmax one day and just pretend he didn't change the channel.
It's so deeply ingrained that you just mention Republican equals wrong. That's him. It doesn't matter.
Too bad.
It is. I know.
I mean, it is sad. Listen, I got a great story that I think everybody, if you didn't pay attention to it, pay attention to it. And this goes back to what we just talked about coming on here. What are we doing? What are we doing as Americans to fight this big nasty beast on every front? And it's every front coming at us. If you're watching any of the garbage coming out of Davos and you're watching these elitists and their bizarre thoughts about how they're going to rally us all into a noose, what are you doing about it, right? Well, let me tell you what is interesting, and I just came across this last night, is thousands of schools, not a couple, thousands of schools in the United States now are at risk of closing.
Yeah.
Why?
Lack of enrollment.
In enrollment. Due to massive drop in enrollment. Y'all, this is... Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, ah. And I just was so happy. Because I've been watching this for a long minute.
Listen, it is...
That's the thing that I was talking to my husband about this, because again, he's a teacher. He's a faith-based man. I'm like, look, your skills are needed in all over the place. Like, this is like, you talk about it. It's nice that you got your state job and you got your pension and all that. I said, let's work on getting you to do this for kids, because he's talking. The other thing he's saying too that he noticed, and this is disturbing to him.
Coming from a teacher.
He started when he started teaching over 20 years ago, about 20 years ago in Arizona. He said that the kids out there were totally different than the kids here. Out there, they were Mormons, they were Baptists, they were Catholic, they had faith. That's what he said. There's a difference. And then he came here, and there's all these atheists, and he says he's getting nothing back from these kids, and
there's nothing in there
wearing him down. And I said, well, this is it. Like, I keep trying to, I'm trying to coach him to like find where, what he's going to do when he grows up, that kind of thing, when he retires.
coming, and you get to, you're living with the man, and I'm sure intimately he's feeling all kinds of ways, seeing we're losing
Awful.
a freaking generation of
Yes.
kids. But there are people out there making big decisions and big sacrifices to get their kids out of these public indoctrination prisons. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And they're doing something about it.
From
So now when you
COVID,
see-
parents started paying attention to curriculum, and now they're like, "You're not teaching my kid. My kid's not going to be subjected to that." Rightfully so.
Right. On Monday, I have a meeting. It was supposed to happen last week, but I have a meeting with a woman who has formed a young mothers collective, and I guess they're going to be teaching classes and stuff, and I guess I'm going to be doing like nutrition stuff for the kids. So I think that like that sounds like maybe that's where that part of my business is going to go. Everything I looked up to, I've been learning more about search engine optimization, finding keywords, and what 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 people are searching for. So what people are searching for are things for kids.
yeah,
That seems to be the thing that it's stuff for kids. We need the kids need help. Kids
the
need a
kids
lot of
need
help.
help. The kids need help. We have absolutely done a huge disservice to this generation of children. We can certainly blame it. We can blame it all on the little black mirror for sure. We can blame so much of it on that makes these parents absentee parents.
It's
But
true.
it is true. And the first part is admitting it, and then the second part is realizing, okay, we got to have a little black box. What am I going to say? A steel box at the front door. And when you walk in the front door, son, daughter, put your phone in that box, and we're all
They
going
do
to put it
that.
in that box.
They
And
do that. And some of the classes they'll do that, and that's what I told my husband. I'm like, you need to just let them. But some of them have these special dispensations where they can keep their phones with them, and that's part of the problem. They've got these like, and I get it. And my son had accommodations, and some of them are important, but these other ones, I think they're just letting the kids do whatever the hell they want just so they don't have a temper tantrum, and that's not cool.
Facts. Or the
well,
parents are like, "Yeah, no, my kid's got to have their phone."
Well, it's like I posted a little meme. You've probably seen it before. It just says, "Hey, the kids today are soft, and what does it say? When I was 5 years old, I died, and my mom told me to walk it off. That's how we were raised, I mean, really. Listen, my mom, she was that kind of woman. If I ever said, "Man, my side hurts, Mom, my side hurts," she'd say, "Come over here and let me thunk you on the head and take your mind off your side."
Yes, my mom
Yeah.
would say she'd go, come here, and she'd stomp on my foot. It doesn't hurt
Yeah.
anymore, does it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't feel your side anymore, do you? That's how our parents were, and
Yeah.
that's what made kids tough. And I think that's where we're losing.
I got 3
We're losing
questions.
the battle
I
to help
typically
the
got
kids.
3 questions. These are the 3. Did you break a bone? Are you bleeding? How much?
Yeah.
Did you die?
Like, how much bleeding is there? Because
die?
if it's just a scrape, I don't want to hear it. But
Yeah. Are you dead? Because if you are, you need to get up and shake it off.
first one is, did you break a bone? And I'm like, how am I going to know if I broke my bone?
Oh, and like now,
Yeah.
like people look at you funny if you like spank your child, right? My sister, when she was younger, had a temper tantrum in Target, and my mom and dad spanked her so good because she threw herself on the ground. This lady looked at my parents like, "What are you doing?" And my dad's like, "Mind your own business, or you're next."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, Keto said we walked to school in the snow. I have like
Yeah,
one
she
one
said,
year
so
we,
it
we
is
have
true. We
we
did
had a
walk in
terrible
the snow.
blizzard. We had an awful blizzard, and my dad's like, I don't care. I'm like, there's gonna be no school. I don't care. You get ready. You get out there. And I did literally, and because of the way that I walked through the woods to get there, and then I had to I'm standing out there. It was literally uphill both ways in the snow. The way that I went,
Stop.
and I'm
She
standing.
had the
I'm
full-
standing. I
Uphill
swear
Full
to God.
both
Monty.
ways.
Full
I
Monty.
swear to God, it was so like I'm glad I can laugh at it, But I'm standing out there waiting for the bus. Some woman pulls up and goes, "There's no school today." I'm like, "Arr." So I walked instead of going the way I came. I went up the road, and the road was a hill because I lived in a weird spot. It was almost like I went through this.
You got to go to school with your sled. You got to go to school with your sled. Pull that sled behind you. Hey, but listen, Laura, I'm seeing your comment, Laura, where you're saying, hey, several parents have asked you to open a school the last few years. And you know what, Laura, the ultimate compliment to a teacher is, please, from the parents, save our kids. Tell us you'll do it. We'll throw down. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, across the country, people have found these alternative schools, homeschooling, private schools, charter schools. Now, I realize, you know, some of those probably, you know, have their challenges too. But the huge impact being made on the public school system, what frightens me about it, and I always believed, when these schools started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of the doors started being faced inwards like a prison. Like when I went to school, we all had open doors. You know, our doors were open, and if a kid wanted to run out the door and just get on all the way to the beach or go home, they could. They didn't get locked in. It was, you know what I mean? Like, these schools are prison-like. But my point is, when I saw these schools where they were combining them and making them bigger and bigger and bigger, and the bigger they are, the more apt these children will be lost in the big. You know, they just get lost. That's why small schools, small intimate schools are so important, and that's how kids learn.
Yes, you know why? Okay, I know this now because so my son didn't finish his freshman year of school because of what was going on, right? Now that he's in continuation school, it's like 40 to like 50 kids only in this high school. His grades are up.
That's right. That's why.
Yeah.
Because now he's involved.
More
Yeah.
one-on-one. Yeah, more one-on-one.
Yes. That's
And-
the problem with the big schools, is the kids get lost. And we all know all kids are not alike. So those who tend to be, you know, kind of shy, you know, that kind of disappear into the woodwork, if you will, it's so much easier for them to be lost in these big schools.
And the teachers actually give a fuck. Because there's less stuff to grade, right? They get more personal with your child, you know, like hang out and like, you know, and actually learn you like to a T, like what works for you.
Well, who wrote this? Wait a minute. Cindy says no spanking in this family. We just got that look. Well, that was one thing for sure. I mean, and my family, I don't know about you. My father was the one. My mom would just look at us and say, okay, I'll just tell your father. And we'd go,
No, I got the look preceded the belt. That's what I got.
yeah, well, that's just it. If you didn't get the message with the look, you knew the big backhand was coming, or the strap. That's one thing. My parents never had to use a strap on us because we understood.
Yeah.
Because if they smacked us, if they did ever have to, it was something you didn't ever want to happen again. That's a fact.
You know,
But
I never really got spanked. I maybe got one time a good spank, but I never really did it. Like, I never really got like that look or the spank like that. Like everybody knows. But yeah, we got spoons. And
Yeah,
then-
spoons.
And
not the
we
spoon.
did get scared.
Flip flops. Yeah, when we moved to Florida, it went to
Yeah.
the flip flops and the cordless phone when they came out.
Yeah.
And the
Hispanic
middle
moms
name. Yeah, the middle name.
Hispanic mothers call the flip flop the chancla.
Yeah,
The
the
chancla come
chancla.
out. They get you from across the room with the chancla. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. And then
yeah. Yardstick.
Oh.
My grandmother broke out the yardstick, broke it over my cousin. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, my
God.
grandparents had that. My grandparents had that and spoon. Those
The
things
spoon.
hurt. Those
Yeah.
yardsticks
No,
do
I know.
hurt.
I can tell you, there's a certain level though where the lines crossed, and I think my father crossed the line with me a few times. So, because I know I got some, I'll admit it. There's some trauma there. I mean, it was not good. It was just not good.
He came at you like, oh.
I had to lean my back against the door. I had a little spot where I could put my foot against the wall to keep my door from opening, and I had to like try to keep him out of my room. It was
Kumana's
that
father used to take a stick in the car on car rides.
Ugh,
Jesus Lord. Okay,
yeah.
on that note.
Hardcore, man. Hardcore.
I know, on that note. Ah.
On that note, I didn't have to do any of that with my son. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered. I did. I spanked
What
him
was
once, and
that?
he just kind of looked at me like, "What are you doing?" You know. It was. I was
What
like,
you
"Oh,
had, a
this ain't
bag of
gonna work."
pearls?
Actually, y'all, this is my domino money.
Nice.
It's a big bag, but I have a problem, and I have to admit it, and I need to fix it, and I need y'all to help me fix it, because every time I say the word listen, I got to put a quarter in the cup. Okay, y'all help me.
Wow, you're gonna be a millionaire like before the year end, girl. I can't.
I gotta find a new word. Listen, I gotta find a new word. No,
Listen, Linda.
huh?
Yeah, you remember what she
Listen,
used to say
Linda,
that like
yeah.
every day?
Yeah, Linda.
Linda, listen. Eh?
Y'all,
Like he doesn't her not saying Q.
y'all, laugh at me because
We know
it
the
needs to be that
tricks.
way. I am always about wanting people to hear me or pay attention, but I need to quit using that word, the L word. Anyway, how about
No,
this?
wait. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Hey, listen.
Yo, she can't do it.
Crazy. The way it sounds too. It's biting. It's sharp. People pay attention to it. You know.
Listen.
Oh my God, that's $1.25
Look
right
it.
there.
Look it.
Hold on.
You could say, look it.
Looky here.
Look it.
Looky
That's
here.
another one.
Looky here.
Look it.
You're in Georgia.
So
It's
look
acceptable.
here. Look. Hey, how about this one? What about Tim Scott coming out in South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott coming out in South Carolina, throwing his endorsement behind Trump? What makes it good is that's Nimrata's home state, and her compadres, if you will, aren't supporting her. And now it's interesting. Did y'all hear Sebastian Gorka yesterday?
No.
Anybody? Okay, so Sebastian Gorka was having an interview with someone, and I'm just going to say it. I do not care for Sebastian Gorka at all.
Yeah.
I think he's an arrogant, narcissistic ass. That's okay. That's just my opinion.
Everybody's got opinions, Kim. I'm entitled
my
to.
opinion.
Kimmy too.
And the reason I'm saying that is because he nailed it in the coffin for me when I watched this interview yesterday. And he was talking to this person, and this person, no name person, if you will, not yet anyway, but they're having this conversation about Trump, and in true Sebastian Gorka fashion, because he's got to be the guy that knows it all, been there, done it, yeah. He says, "Oh, I've talked to Trump, and I know who his vice presidential candidate or who his vice president selection will be." And the guy goes, "Oh, you do?" And he goes, "Listen, I'm just saying. This is what he said. He said, listen, he is a," and then he said he. And the guy he was interviewing, he says, "Oh, it's a he." And then Sebastian says, "Yeah, well, I've been talking to Trump. I talk to him regularly. I know who it's going to be. And he is not someone anyone is talking about. And he will be a huge asset to the presidency in that he will be an individual who can get things done. He won't be just a pretty picture like some of the other schmucks and the one currently in place." So Sebastian Gorka wanted to be the man out there that knew. He knows. He talks to Trump. He knows it. You know what I mean? He was just an ass about it, in my opinion. And I'm almost curious if Trump put a phone call into him and said, "Shut your effing mouth."
Yeah, right.
Right? Because this is something that needs to be just kind of waiting for Trump.
I agree with Laura. Trump hasn't even told Don Jr.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure.
he knows it might come out. You know,
He knows what?
like it would like a word vomit. It'll
Yeah.
come out if people, because his kids are especially Don Jr. is like so hype, like talks really fast and like, oh, and they might say
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
does his
Yeah,
podcast and shit. Yeah, he speaks
Yeah.
freely. Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like dangerous to just tell anyone. So
Yeah.
it's just like
Laura says, hey,
that.
I don't think he's told anybody. But listening
Yeah,
to Sebastian know-it-all narcissist ass Gorka, that's just me. Sorry
yeah.
about that.
Gorka
He's
trying
trying
to
to
get
stay
clicks.
relevant.
Yo!
Yeah, he's
Yes.
trying to stay
Yes.
relevant. Yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
yeah,
Did you guys
He
see?
knows by saying that
Yeah.
it's going to light up his social media. It's going to light
yeah,
up his phone. Yes, that's exactly what it is, I
yeah.
think.
Wow.
More views, more followers. Yeah,
Yep. And
yeah.
I'm just going to say this too. I'm just going to go out there and say this because, I get to say what I want to say over here on my channel. I kind of think Don Jr.'s like that too. There. Said it. Said it.
Yeah. I think everybody's like that, I think everybody doing
Well,
podcasts are like that.
everything I ever get, anything I ever see, as far as Don Trump Jr., everything is about a grift. Every single thing, everything you hear about him, send your money over to this side. Anything you get from him, send your money over there. We need your money. We need your money. Send your money. Get your money. That's all he does. And if that's his job, then that's his job. He's good at it. But I'm offended by it now.
Yeah, I'm offended by anybody doing that.
I mean, it's really kind of, it's just yucky.
I really think Trump should pick a man, in my opinion, because we already have an ugly picture of a woman as a VP, and I think a strong man to clean up the mess that she made of a VP.
Yo, I'm
So
all
it'd
in
be a
it
man.
if it's Tom Scott,
And
dude.
I
mean, Tim
need
Scott.
someone with the balls and the bluntness, but also class and like gives 0 Fs. And not a lot of women are like that. Sorry to say, but it, not a lot of women.
Carrie Lake.
But
Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake, I think is not ready yet. I think she needs
Yeah.
to start off at the lower level.
This
and
is
work
her
way
first
up.
go around in politics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
True.
she needs
I
to
want to see
work.
Carrie
She
Lake.
needs to work up her way.
I want to see Carrie Lake, though, really get entrenched in foreign affairs. I mean, granted, she can do a lot here, certainly, and I think she's already shown she can do that and stir people up and bring people
Yeah.
along.
I really like
always
Sarah
just
Huckabee
believe that
Sanders, but I don't know.
Secretary of State. Is that what you're saying, Kim?
Yeah, that, but
Carrie Lake for Secretary of State?
no,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe somewhere in there.
That's kind
'cause
of big. That's bigger than VP, in my opinion.
Well,
They do
VP,
more.
VP, whatever it is, but not quite yet. I feel like, she could be an asset in the administration somewhere for sure. I just would like to see her just a little bit more, just show a little bit more her knowledge of
I know
foreign affairs.
We said Tucker, but press secretary, that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. She just knows how to work the camera because she works so much behind the camera, right? So I think she needs to start off with like Senate or House representative, work her way up because we need bad bitches in there. Because
or the
ones
Senate. She's running, right?
ones that we do have in there, they have a lot of talk, but they don't walk the walk. So we need to have more people that actually walk the walk and not talk just the talk. So for me, when I was listening to the candidates here, only 2 that I was listening, that actually out of the 5 that I listened to that were in the like areas that are in the voting areas, some of them are very rhino-y to me. Or they were a Democrat and they switched sides and they still kind of have their like ways, and they're very timid. And I was just like,
uniparty. There's uniparty people.
Yeah, so when I went to talk to the one that I really liked, and he was like, this is our 1776, we need to have this revolution, this is our time, 2024, blah, blah, blah. He and the other guy are not politicians. They never were. One's an ex-cop and one's just a business owner. And he literally sounded like Trump. The other one is just a pissed off dad, doesn't like how school is being ran, and actually is stepping up and stepping forward. The two women and this other guy, two of the one woman, one man immigrants, legal immigrants. The other one is just was a lawyer, a judge, worked her way up, always been in city government.
Kissing butt.
She knows how to do her fundraising, right? But she didn't give me like I want an MGT, I want a MTG, I want a Carrie Lake, I want the Arkansas governor's what's her name, Sarah
Huckabee Sanders, yeah.
Huckabee? Yeah, I want someone like that. So when I went to the guy that I like, I said, you know what? I like you. I want someone who's super blunt AF. I said the word. And he's like, exactly. And I'm like, the other ones? I said it in front of the other ones. I said, they don't talk. They're
America
very
wants
timid.
it too.
I want someone
America.
with balls. And they kind of looked at me like, I
Yeah.
want someone with balls.
Well,
I want someone who's going to actually care about California, gonna change it. I don't want someone just, oh, I'm gonna be like this, I'm gonna be so nice. I gotta win over the people because I have all these pansies over here that are so soft. No, I want someone in your face. Like if
Yeah.
when I start canvassing and going door to door, I'm gonna be like, hi, you know, and I'm gonna be like, boom. You know, I'm gonna be like, boom.
That's right. I learned going down to the Capitol, this past week, there in Georgia, how weenie they are. Just how weenie they are. I mean, when you knock on the door and you walk in their office and there's their receptionist and you say, hey, is legislator so-and-so here, so-and-so here? And I mean, all of a sudden you can see their doors closing. They'll get up and close their doors, try to hide. And I mean, they just, their receptionist is their bulldog. And they don't have people walking in there every day, but they damn sure should be receiving people who come in there. If they make their way down to their office and physically walk in and say, I need to talk to you, you need to stop what you're doing and talk to these people.
Here, have a cup of coffee and sit down, let's talk.
Right. Yeah, hey, I can give you a few minutes. Come on in here, and if you're a person that's going down there to do that, you should have your stuff ready. Like, you have your list of questions. I still have mine, and I'm waiting to meet them. I want to know. So anyway, I just feel like, and what about this, Joe? Did you hear this? What was it? The thing with Nikki or Nimrata running for president. My understanding is that it says the Constitution doesn't allow children born of non-citizens to become presidents or to be eligible. And apparently her two parents were non-citizens. So I'm curious, has anybody heard that? Because I did see it. It says, let's see, under Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, she is patently ineligible.
So then, isn't she ineligible for what she was, the governor too? Like any legislative, place, like.
Well, no, because I think the rules apply a little differently on the state level.
Yeah, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There you go. There's a perfect example.
Yeah.
So on the state level, for those types of positions, I think the rules are a little different. But I'll tell you something. I think they need to be exactly the same. Yeah. Because then we don't get them making their way up the ladder, and all of a sudden, you've got somebody running for president.
Because we do have a lot of immigrants in California, right? So we do have a lot of those dreamers and all those people that came over here illegally too. So those people are not eligible to go for president, right? They could just be like local.
Yeah. Hey, Donna, I'm seeing your comment. Someone must have told Don Jr. to chill on his podcast. He's not interrupting like he was. He's terrible. I couldn't even hardly get through one of his podcasts because of it. I'm just saying, he's just not somebody that does it for me. Especially when he's standing there next to his dad. He looks like a little weasel. I'm just saying. There it is. I don't care. I'm just saying.
Good morning, Pastor Mookie.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for jumping in here. So that was the thing. I was just curious if anybody had heard that. if you do hear it, if it does come across, your news feed as you're out there researching, I'd be curious if anybody else has heard about it, because it certainly makes sense. And apparently,
What's the article? The
well,
article
this
in the
particular
Constitution?
one, hold on, let me see if I can tell you exactly. Well, this one is by Paul Ingracia over at the Gateway Pundit, who I just love their stuff, because they listen. Every time the pundit comes out with things, if you're staying on top of the pundit, they will. I mean, they have news way out in front of all of them. Way out in front of all these media outlets. That's what I like about them. So if you're not following them, I encourage you to. Were they naturalized citizens when she was born? No, they weren't. My understanding is they were not, and that was what they're talking about. They're saying, the daughter of two non-citizens
That's
is patently
kind of like
ineligible.
that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the rule, completely unrelated, but that's how, if you're an Italian American, that's how you can become a dual citizen to Italy, is if you're whoever came here never became a citizen, you're technically considered still a citizen of Italy. It's ja sangra, it's by the blood, I guess it's called. But I don't know if that necessarily applies to governmental office.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kimmy, how about you? I mean, were your parents non-citizens? Were they?
No, okay, so
At the time of birth.
my great grandpa came here from Naples, Italy, in 1899, and
Mine too.
and then my grandpa was born here, and and also my great grandma was from Italy, and they came here. So, I don't know if they became citizens, but they came through Ellis. What is it, Ellis Island? What? Yeah, in New York. So I don't know. I
Bring
want
us
to
your
look into that.
downtrodden.
Yeah, do you know if you're when you're the time that your grandparent or your grandfather was born, if they had not become American citizens and denounced their citizenship, you're eligible for dual citizenship with Italy. Just FYI. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I think, it'd be great, to have something in your back pocket in case you need it. You never know. But that may make you, you might have to follow EU rules or something. And that's why I kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that.
No.
No.
You could be a citizen of the country you live or you're born in, period.
Did you see the guy from Netherlands when he was talking about Trump was right about NATO, about us doing
He agreed with
75%?
him. But I agree with Keto. I think this whole birth certificate or this whole birthright thing for Nikki Haley, hashtag not happening, never happening, Nikki Haley, NH.
Yeah.
I got so
Wrap
many
your head.
NHs. Like, it's not happening, but keep trying. But anyway,
I know, Donna. I according to Italy, I am an Italian citizen according to Italy. I just have to prove it because I got it on both sides. I got it on several different places. I can prove that.
But I think this is all going back
I'm an Italian
to the
citizen according
fraudulent Hawaiian birth certificate.
Well, okay, so technically, Donald Trump's grandpa came here from what is it, Belgium? No, he came
Scottish,
from
no?
Bavaria, because I was married Bavarian cream.
Where it was cold.
I can't.
He came from Bavaria and came here. So is he a natural citizen? So technically, I'm just like, okay.
Hey, that's it, Jen. Where's the Glenn Beck chalkboard? Hey,
she kills me, Jen. You kill me. You kill me.
Right.
Hey, the good thing, Glenn Beck. Listen, I love Glenn Beck too. I want to shift gears for just a minute. If you haven't heard this, then certainly it'll be good to you, good to hear. And if you've already heard it, then just be patient for a moment. But this has to do with what's going on, with the freaks over there in Davos. The good news is you do have those folks who are going over there and taking advantage of the spotlight and the speaker to get their messages out about these freaks. And listen, I want to Okay. I want to share this with you.
I don't know how you're gonna make it through.
I'm gonna.
It's a big bag of quarters. It's a really big bag of
I
quarters.
got it. I'm gonna make it. The good news is it's all mine at the end, but I'm gonna learn. Oh no, I'm gonna give it away. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it away. Okay, so I want to play this. Hold on, let me back it up. Let me back it up. Okay, so what this is the Heritage President. Heritage President goes scorched earth on the global elites. Let's listen for just a moment.
It's laughable that you would, or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. It's standing up for it. It's equally laughable to use the word dictatorship at Davos and aim that at President Trump. In fact, I think that's absurd. But I'm going to step aside from that constructive criticism and instead answer your question. Yep. And I'm going to be substantive here. President Trump, if he's the next president, for that matter, I think whoever the next conservative president is going to take on the power of the elites, which I mentioned earlier. But the thing that I want to drive home here, the very reason that I'm here at Davos, is to explain to many people in this room and who are watching, with all due respect, nothing personal, but that you're part of the problem. Political elites tell the average people on 3 or 4 or 5 issues that the reality is X, when in fact reality is Y. Take immigration. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. They're right. President Trump will take that on behalf of the average American. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. Just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas. The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. President Trump will take that on. Thirdly, I guess the favorite at the World Economic Forum is climate change. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change, so much so that climate alarmism is probably the greatest cause for mental health crisis in the world. The solutions, the average person know, based on climate change are far worse and more harmful and cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. Fourth, 2 more here, Robin. The fourth, China. Number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. Count on President Trump ending that nonsense. And fifth, as we sit here, another supranational organization, the World Health Organization, is discussing foisting gender ideology upon the global South. These are practices that are under review, if not being rejected, by countries in Northern Europe. The new president, the special of its President Trump, will, as you like to say, trust the science. He will understand the basic biological reality of manhood and womanhood. And do you know why?
Why?
Not because of retribution, not because he's a dictator, but because he has the power of the American people behind him.
There it is.
And it's connected to Senator Portman's excellent point that in addition to needing a vigorous executive, we look forward to having the popular will inform both the House and Senate in 2025 to pass laws on all of those issues and many others. Ultimately, Robin, I think President Trump, if in fact he wins a second term, is going to be inspired by the wise words of Javier Milei, who said that he was in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken lions. That's what the average American and the average free person on planet Earth wants out of leaders.
Boom!
It's laughable that you would, or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal.
What?
Listen, that.
Keep it up, Kim. I could use a massage.
That is so good, and it's so impactful for everybody listening, because it goes back to collectively, we as an American people, we can take these monsters down. We've already shown it to Anheuser-Busch.
Bud Light.
We've already shown it, listen, oh, that was a nickel. Sorry, let me put it back in there. I have a quarter. Yeah.
Do you want me to say it for you?
I was thinking that. But she has to stop for the second for us to get it out.
Listen here.
So it won't work. We'll be cutting her off like two rude bitches. Kim will never
Right.
get a sentence out.
I'm self-improving over here.
You're
What am I
trying.
to do?
I give it
I'm
to you. You
self-improving.
are trying.
I am going to, but listen. Oh,
No.
okay, there you go. But what a great big message, really, coming out. I pinned it over in the Telegram. If you've not seen it, certainly see it and share it. Share it to all your social media sites. Let other people see. What's interesting to me is some that I've been speaking to, you know, in our little sphere, our network.
Mhm.
What's Davos, Kim?
Boom.
What?
Waking people up. That's a beautiful thing.
Tanya, now just using your dad as an example, only listening to and watching, you know, his one little channel, I have to believe that he's not heard anything like that. I think I'm going to post it to your dad's Facebook. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post it to his Facebook.
She's stalking your dad,
Post it to
dude.
my Facebook because I have some Democrat family members, and every time I post something, there's a negative face, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Good.
I can't give me.
The way I describe Davos is, you know how I always say stuff like this. I say, you know how we're always saying like they are trying to kill us, they, and everybody goes, who's they?
Who's they?
The people at Davos.
Are.
The people at Davos are the they. Yay!
That's it.
That's they.
it. And so oftentimes, if you are not prepared with an answer of the who is they,
Yeah.
the person that you're talking to totally dismisses you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be specific about who they are. And they are all over in Davos right now. And let me tell you what's really interesting. We have got a bill. Hold on. What's the guy's name? Kim, did you put it out there? There's one of our representatives who has just presented a bill.
What oh no, that's the other Congress.
Here it is. Okay, yeah, I did save it because I thought it was really good. House Republicans have introduced a bill. Now, this is just a bill introduction. They have introduced a bill to what? To withdraw funding from Globalist World Economic Forum.
Oh, good.
So now the question is, how much money exactly does our country, you, me, the taxpayer, send over to the World Economic Forum? So these unelected, absolute rotten MFers can make plans for us to get in the news quicker. How is it that our money is going over there to do that? Well, this bill known as the Defund Davos Act, spearheaded by Representative Scott Perry in Pennsylvania and joined by Representatives Tom Tiffany in Wisconsin, Paul Gosar in Arizona, Diana Harshbarger in Tennessee, Andy Ogles in Tennessee, and Matt Rosendale from Montana. The Defund Davos Act seeks to prevent the State Department, the USAID, and other federal agencies from funneling money over to the WEF. I don't have, it just says, according to the records, United States government has contributed millions to the WEF over the past years, and the spending trend is something that Perry and his fellow GOP lawmakers argue should come to an abrupt end. That is huge. Share that with people. Share that out there and make people understand that, forcing the American taxpayers, to fund these annual ski trips over, to these highfalutin muckety muck locations. Why should we be supporting that? We shouldn't be sending them a penny. So I want to give it up to those representatives who have put out the Defund Davos Act the bill known as the Defund Davos Act. Put that on your headline in your social media.
When Trump was, like, that's it, we're not funding the WHO, we're cutting off the WHO. That was like, yes. But see, here's the problem though, is the people that you're dealing with, they really think that these things are good. That they really, really believe, oh, well, they need to get together to talk about the big problems because they're the ones with all the money and they're the ones running everything. Because the people are sheep. They want to be led. They don't want to think for themselves. And I can tell you right now, that is the problem with my dad.
Spoon-fed.
As much as he's somebody who
Spoon-fed.
claimed to be, didn't like authority, he's really like, it's just, he's lazy enough that he doesn't care. And that's a lot of it too. Too many people are so depressed and downtrodden that they just like, we don't, like, whatever,
Well,
I can't do anything
like
about it anyway.
The fight has gone out of them. But like Des always likes to say, a dying thing screams the loudest. Well, these folks, these sheeple, they need to start screaming because they're following the line right to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Getting on a train to the concentration camp all over again.
That's it, Des. And you're right, Jen. You're right. They got on blinders. Their earmuffs and masks.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's in a concentration camp. That's what this is. If you're drugged up and you're sitting there in front of the TV and being fed propaganda to the point where, your mind is the prison. And this is what the Black community's been saying that for a long time. You need to free your mind because the chains aren't on you anymore. You are free.
I love
you realize this, but they're living like they're not. And that's these people too. They just, oh no. They
Pastor Mookie nailed it.
Free.
Yep.
Pastor Mookie, there it is. Cognitive dissonance to level 1000.
Yes.
That's absolutely true. But remember, it doesn't necessarily take a majority of the country people to make things happen. It just takes a really great group
the
of
small
loud
percentage
people.
of us that push that truth, those hard facts, every day.
And that's who we are. That's who y'all are. And thank you for being those people who give a darn and want to pay attention and get, whatever way you can, that message out to others. Isn't it interesting how in the beginning with the COVID and those of us who were kind of questioning and, we weren't following the herd over the cliff. We kind of swung out and watched and were asking questions. Thank God we did, because now all of these people now who are coming out saying, yeah, something's not right. And guess who? The little man who's a big idiot is, what's his name? De Niro.
No.
Yeah.
He can't dig himself out the whole good thing, too.
He just put out a documentary type of movie where he's saying this in the movie. He says, I can't tell anybody, I can't tell anybody what to do, but this movie is certainly going to bring attention to folks so that they will start asking more questions, because here's what he said. Something's not kosher with the thing.
Yeah, he was behind that movie Vaxxed, and he had to pull his name off of it because they put pressure on him. Hey, I gotta get moving. I gotta get on the mat. I haven't done that.
Are you
yet.
talking about that Killers of the Flower Moon movie?
And I think Jen wants to come on in. So
okay,
but I'll see you guys. If I don't see you a little later on, I will definitely see you Monday. So have a sparkling.
Tanya, have an awesome day. Say hello to Eric. Let him know, we're still out here fighting the good fight every day, and we're going to keep it up. And we want him to also. Jen, is it Jen? Hold on just a minute. Beep, 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 beep. No sugarcoating. Jen is coming on in here. Good morning, Jen. Here she is. Here she is from our Arkansas region. Jen, are you out of the house yet? Have you been able to get out of the house?
Finally got out the house yesterday.
All right, good for you. I'm sure you're getting a little cabin fever. How are you, lady?
I'm good. I just had a quick little thing, because some of you, I don't not where I can share things all the time, but when the Epstein list come out a few weeks ago, the first part, my daughter, who is very much blinded and earmuffed and masked, messaged me and said, "Did you know about this?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "The Epstein list." And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "So did you know about this?" And I said, "I've been screaming for how long now for y'all to listen to me?" And she literally said, "It doesn't matter if we listen or not. We can't do anything about it." This is her words. "We cannot do anything about it. What is. All we want to do is live our lives." I had a phone call I had to click off. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the sad part is your daughter has it.
The end of the conversation ended because it was text. It ended with, "Mom, you were right, and you don't have to feel weird about speaking up and saying anything because you were right." And I said, "So I can dust the dust off of my full hat now, right?" And she said, "Well, I didn't go that far." So they even the impossible ones see it. I don't know what it's going to take to completely.
It's going to take, Jen, exactly what all of us have been doing on the daily. Drip, drip, drip,
Exactly.
drip.
But
And then you know with the drip,
somebody else. It took somebody else telling her. Sometimes the closest people.
Trusted
I
sources.
say this with Christianity and bringing people to Jesus too.
Trusted sources.
Sometimes the closest people are not going to be the one that reach you. It's going to be Joe Blow down the street.
Yep. Everybody's got to learn
So-
things in their own time.
Yes,
because the saying, you can't be a prophet in your hometown
that's right.
because nobody wants to listen to you. You got to have a new prophet come into town that people will listen to. So that just means you got to find your next town or your next group or your next place where your voice can be heard. But keep on keeping on, Jen. And you know what? I feel like at the end of the day, it's really not about, I told you so. I'm not that person. If someone comes to me and people have that I know,
No,
who've called
that
or
doesn't
sent me
save
information,
souls. That
We
just
are so
still creates
far
division.
beyond. We're beyond the "I told you so" now. I mean,
Right.
that's not even thought of anymore. It's who can we save now?
That's right. That's exactly right. And it's a place where you got to go and you got to give and you got to expect nothing. Your message that you're giving is your blessing.
Yeah.
Anybody who picks it up and runs with it, yay. But love that your daughter has come around. That's a huge thing. When my daughter came around and it all started right around COVID, she started asking lots of questions. But she was just like your daughter, Jen. I'm not sure. My daughter is 30. She's going to be 36 this year. She just wanted to live her life. She didn't want to be bothered. She didn't want to be involved. She didn't like politics. And when I looked at her and I said, we will not talk politics together. We will talk future. Just replace the politics word with the word future, and that's what we will talk. And my daughter, I don't know what it was, but at some point she just dove right off the high dive into the water, and now she's so hungry for knowledge. I love it when she comes over and she'll go, "Mom, did you hear? Mom, did you know?" And I'll go, "Yep, chick, that's good. You're there."
I was impressed. I was getting yeah, we were definitely enjoying a conversation or two. I was like, wow, Kim, yeah, okay, she's coming around.
I've got a client calling, so I don't want to be rude, but I've got to go answer a phone call from a client. So y'all have.
We understand that, Jen. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you have an awesome weekend. There it is. Well, you know what? What a great testimony from Jen, because we've all been rocking along with Jen for a good while with our OGs, knowing how tough, what tough customers her daughters have been. So what a great testimony. And all she can do is look at him and go, "I love you. I love you."
Like
That's what it is.
whenever I was with like my mother-in-law and all them, they're complaining about like groceries and all that stuff. I'm like, thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden. And then my ex-husband, he's all like, why do you always have to do that? I'd be like, thank you, Joe Biden. You voted for him. Thank you.
Yeah, Laura, I love your comment. The big question is, do you want your children to be able to have the option to live their own lives? Well, yes, you do. Yes, you do. And that's why we keep reaching out with the drip, 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 and love that her daughter would reach out and say, hey, Mom, did you know? You know, and that's that time and that's where Jen, I might have said it a little different, not that I've been trying to tell you. It's like, I'm so glad you've come around. I can't wait to share the next thing with you. You know what I mean? Because kids just want to find a way to push away from their parents. They just do until they get to a place where they realize how stupid that is.
Even the two cousins that I have that are like super Democrat, like one of them used to vote Republican, and then she got into like Hollywood and all that stuff, and she got brainwashed. And then now she's like, now she's a single lady, doesn't have any kids, never married. So now her pocketbook is kind of filling it, and I'm just like, well, how do you feel? So now when we were trying to get rid of Governor Newsom, she voted for the other guy, the Republican. So I was just like, see? And she goes, see, our vote really doesn't count. I said, you still got to do it. You still got to vote because it doesn't matter. You still have to vote. That's your God-given right. You got to vote. And the only reason why she didn't vote for Donald Trump is because he's super Jesus. And she's super not. And I was just like, sometimes you just have to vote for the best one. Even though you don't like, you're not into Jesus, you know you like his politics. You know you like his thing. You know, like everything he did for you. Besides the fact that he didn't give a F on Twitter and he like was so like out there, you know you liked their pocketbook while he was president. And so now she's like, I'm a vote Republican. And this chick, she wants to vote for Nikki Haley, and I'm like, ugh. And I'm
I know you
Don't
never
waste
like
your
to.
vote, love.
I was just like, you know what? At least she's voting Republican now, so I might keep just dripping and dripping and dripping in my Facebook. So maybe
Please do.
I'll just drip that Nikki Haley can't be president because her parents are foreigners.
Yeah.
Hashtag
please,
never happening.
Nobody wants a president that's a cheater. We've already had a few of those. And we saw where that got us. And you're right, Laura, we're not working on now. We're working on protecting the future. And that's why when any of the kids say anything to us, it's got to be that. You know, I'm not trying to change today necessarily, but if I'm gone in 10 years, I'd like to think 10 years down the road, all of us who got on the bandwagon and did what we could do made a difference. Now, I think the big drip in all of our social media should be get registered to vote. You know, a lot of people say, oh, vote. And then when you ask people, are you registered? And they go, no.
You know, in California, only 18% of Republicans voted because of the 2020 election being stolen from us. When we voted for 2022, only 18% because they thought their vote didn't count.
That sucks.
Kimmy, listen, preach it.
When I start knocking on that door, I'm going to tell them, your vote counts. No matter how much you think it doesn't, it does. Because look at Donald Trump. He lost one county because of one vote. One vote.
Yeah.
One vote.
Right.
Everything would have been super red. You would have totally seen it. If you look at all of the 2020 map of California, every single county was red. No purple, red. And the only things were blue was San Francisco, San Diego, Hollywood, and LA. Those are the only ones that were blue, and it's very, very small. Why the hell did you give it to Joe Biden? Because why? Because all the electors are in those counties.
Right. That's right. Kimmy, let me ask you this question too, because now that you're stomping on it out there, you told us that all Republicans have to re-register in the state of California.
They do.
Okay. And why is it just the Republicans that have to?
Because they want to know. They want to know
who's
who
MAGA
is going to vote and who's MAGA. Probably. They want to go after all of us because they're freaking fascist and disgusting twat waffles.
Beautiful. Okay, so my guess is of the 18% that you just identified, is there a number yet of how many Republicans have re-registered out there?
Not yet. They have to do it like now because our primary is May 5th. So we have to. They're starting canvassing this weekend. I can't do it this weekend, but I could do it Monday. So I'm gonna go help another city because my city's not doing it yet. And so I'm gonna go help with that one. The one that was an ex-cop, retired cop. I'm going to go help him
Beautiful.
for a little bit because I don't work my second job on Monday, so I have time. So
Way to go, Kimmy.
and then you need to win over the old people actually because you're paying your property taxes. Those property taxes are going to the schools, and that's what is funding all this garbage.
Right. That's right.
Is your property taxes. And so even though you don't have kids going to that school district, your money's going to that school district. So you, as an older person who's a homeowner, is responsible for the future of the other little kids. No matter the fact you don't have any kids or grandkids or anybody in that school district. Anywhere you live, those property taxes go towards the school. Part of it.
Oh.
Linda.
I'm out of here. I gotta go do some stretching.
I think you going out there, Kimmy, is so fantastic. Number one, because of your age group. Number two,
Yeah.
because you are informed and you are staying on top of these things and getting out there in front of any of the senior citizens, putting it to them like that. I bet a lot of them really don't know the scope yet. If they are Republican registered voters, did letters go out? Did you receive a letter, or was it just
No.
something you saw in a headline?
Yeah. There's
About
no,
registering.
there is no letter. I just looked it up and I saw the article that it does say that we do have to re-register, and it needs to be done because our mail-in ballots are coming in February.
I'll tell you, I think a great message, Kim,